Greetings and salutations, this is Imperator Vespasian and his trusty sidekick.
Hello.
And honest this time, this is an actual unboxing for the Roman Imperial Legionaries, right? So we're going to actually go over the figures properly. Sorry for the last one. Right, this is the Roman Legionary, all set up quite nicely. And this is what you get in the box. Here is a Scipio, whatever it's called, Scorpio, that's it. Scorpio, it's got its own crew, him there. And him there. With our Romans, we did him as a medic, didn't we? Because we had lots of spare Scorpions.
Yeah.
We bought the big box set, and we only needed 4. So we did this guy up as those guys. We had 2 of those guys up carrying a stretcher, and this guy was kneeling over a wounded centurion, patching him up. It's great. The stuff you could do with these figures is awesome. And the hands are great because you can put all sorts of stuff in the hands as well. You can have him actually put in a poultice on the wounded soldier's head. And stuff. So the hands, there's several different ways you can man the gun. You can have it firing or loading, and you have the guy holding the loading stick there. There's got one in his hand, and you can also have it firing as well. And the spare helmet, he's holding the helmet in his hand. That's quite a cool figure too. So overall, this is pretty good. These are defences which you can place down to protect your troops in combat. So you can build yourself a little defensive line to hide your troops behind, which is just great. And that's the machine itself. I actually had difficulty putting one of these together when I first got one, until I worked out I put it together backwards. It actually fits together the way it looks. It should, instead of the way I thought it should. So yeah, it's actually okay. And we've got a nice sheath of arrows here, which will be placed on the ground to give yourself a little bit of scattering. It looks quite good. It's pretty awesome. Then we have the actual figures. This is the command sprue. You got 2 sprues. This sprue here, and this command sprue here. And on the command sprue, we get the Emperor's hand waving above the soldiers. I think you have a swagger stick as well somewhere on here, don't you? There it is. That's the officer's swagger stick. That's a wooden stick which the officer can point to things and say, look at that over there, I've got this pointy stick. And it's a Roman thing, used today by the British Army. We still use the pointy stick. We're advanced far. Or what it could be is if you put a little bit of a brush, if you get a Civil War cannon or something like that, and you cut the brush bit off the end, and you stick it on the end of the stick, he could be handing the other guy the wrong end of the stick. That's a Roman joke. That's a joke in Roman times. It wouldn't make any sense today, but in Roman times that would have you splitting your sides. Yeah. We're pathetic, aren't we? Well, I am anyway. Then we have the trumpet, and that's a horn to make a loud horn sound. Romans used these to scare people more than giving orders. The sound of the Roman horns coming would be absolutely terrifying to the barbarians. Apparently, according to the writing of that guy who wrote lots about Romans, and he was around in Roman times. I don't think he ever actually saw battle, but there was a lot of there's a lot of writers in Roman times who wrote, and I don't think any of them saw any of the stuff they wrote about. It was stuff that someone told them in the pub. And there's certain people, Cicero, people like that, you don't trust a word those guys say at all. Don't believe anything. Because they hated the emperor, and they were republicans, so, I mean, genuinely, they were republic. They wanted a republic. They were republicans. This is 2,000-year-old joke. It's a joke from 2,000 years ago, not now. Don't demonetize me from YouTube. It's nothing to do with modern politics. That's the Roman centurion. He's got little steel trinkets on his breast, and they're usually they're medals. They're medals. You know in 40k how you get a stud in your forehead every 30 years of service?
Yeah.
Yeah, that you get one of them every 10 years of being alive, basically. And if you do something heroic, you get an extra one. Then you get this guy here. He's the trumpeter. That guy is exactly the same as a trumpeter, but he's holding a banner. He's holding that banner there. So you get 2 more soldiers there, and you get a collection of soldiers here. You do have a spare head to do an NCO, if you want an NCO for your unit, which we will, because we're basing individually. So
Yes.
we're doing a skirmish Roman game, as opposed to the massive Roman game where we cover the entire table in Roman soldiers and then lose. The infantry are quite cool. You've got guys advancing and guys standing. The standing guys have the Pila?
Yes.
Pilum. Oh, Miss Latin over there again. Pilum. Then you have throwing the javelin stick thing. Pilum. 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 Sorry, I'm not foreign. Right, so we get another guy holding it and an empty helmet, which is always useful. If we have a lot of spare Dark Age heads, and you can have a lot of fun with Dark Age heads and Roman heads, you just swap the head out, and you can have some really good expressions and stuff. We've got some wounded heads as well from the Napoleonic stuff, and so you can have a guy with a wounded face and everything. It's quite good. And if you get the Roman veterans, which we're going to be getting hold of next, if we can, we'll try and find them. The Roman veterans, they actually have wounded soldiers with damaged armour and stuff. And also the veteran sprues, they have additional plates of leg armour and arm armour. And that was for when they were fighting in Dacia. The Dacians had figured out how to fight Romans. They had curvy spears, curvy swords. So normal swords won't do anything against a Roman, but if you can put your curvy end of the sword over the top of the Roman shield, you can hurt him. And so the Romans had to start wearing full body armour, all basically look like knights, which is quite good. But that's only available in the veteran box. And the veterans were, we talked about this before, didn't we? The second company?
Yeah.
Not company. No,
No.
We knew the name. We forgot the name. Sorry. The first group to go out are
The
Velite type young soldiers, and the second type to go out, they're your veteran troops, and they're sort of the core of your legion that your legion's based around. And they'll be with the commander of the legion and everything, and they'll be the best troops. These are just regular legionaries. So there they are. Next sprue is more or less the same as what you've already seen, but with extra figures instead of the command bits. And they're pretty decent. We have the same, oh, that's a pointy sword. And we've got swords doing stuff and shields doing stuff. And that's it. Now we'll have a look at these. And now I did mention this at the beginning of the last video, but the last video turned out to be a conversation about the thing, I believe. So sorry. This is the what are these called?
The transfers.
Transfers. Yeah, these are transfers. Now, if you've got a Warlord site, you can get these in any colour you want. With any design, they've got a few designs, or they did have a few designs. I haven't checked the site, but it did have them. So if you go along there, you can find quite a lot of different designs for shields, and I would recommend you to go do that rather than try and paint your own, because you have to make them all identical, and it can get tedious. So we have done it once before. So feel free to go along to Warlord and find these, or we can get them for you if you wanted to paint some of these for you. If you don't want it, not wanted to do them yourself, if you have a look at our eBay store, which will be in the link below, we should have stuff like this listed. And I'm going to go and get a few of these, and I'm going to try and get the 10th for reasons we discussed before. So what are you thinking?
Good.
You like them?
Yeah.
And compared to the other figures we did, what do you think?
What were figures?
All the other figures we're doing. Given that these only have one arm.
It's also, it's like with the Romans, it's good to have the one arm already on, especially with the Legionnaires, because the whole point is that big shields just like that done.
Yes.
But other Romans, like the auxiliaries, they need to be able to like move their arms and stuff, because they're not like just stand there and take it troops.
No, they're more skirmishers.
Yeah, they're the ones that run in, get rid of something, and then try and find some cover somewhere and wait for them to come and then do it again and again and again.
So these guys are more, they stand in a line and fight in a line.
Yeah.
Whereas this box we did earlier, these guys, they can start a standard fighting line, but mostly they're actually in open order fighting. They're chasing the enemy and stuff. Because these guys are the ones doing all the work.
Basically the police force.
Yes. And there was a famous battle. There was a lighthouse on fire. A watchtower on fire. Where was it? It was the 15th Legion. 14th Legion. 14th Legion was attacking the German legions at the top of the hill in the year of the Four Emperors. Do you remember this?
You know the one where the sun came up and this rendered?
That was the battle before.
Right.
Basically the 14th Legion, these guys, legionaries, they were advancing up the hill, but they'd taken the shields of auxiliary, these. And so they had auxiliary shields, and they went up the hill with auxiliary shields, and it was at night, so it was lit by firelight, so the troops defending couldn't see very well. So they were throwing their pilum down at the auxiliary troops coming up, and the auxiliaries dropped their shields and brought up the Roman shield with the black shield of the 14th, and the Germans absolutely weed themselves and started running away, and then the Legion took the field. Because the 14th at the time was unbelievably terrifying. They were Germans who were loyal to Vespasian. Oh, actually, they've been loyal to Cario?
No, they've been loyal to Etho.
Otho, yeah, Otho was murdered.
And the Germans that were defending that would have been Gallows, or what was his name? He was gay.
It was Gallo. Gallo?
Yeah, Gallo, yes.
Gallo, yeah.
Yeah.
So they then swore loyalty to Vespasian, who didn't want to be emperor. He wanted to avenge the death of Otho, because he'd sworn to Otho.
Yes, because
and Otho was murdered.
Then the
Vitellius. Yeah.
Assassinated him pretty much.
Yeah.
After he's rendered, that's it.
Yeah.
So if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe and comment down below what you think of the Imperial Roman Legionaries.
Yes, and thank you for watching the unboxing of the Imperial Roman Legionaries.
Another conversation about doing
the
unboxing.
And we've nearly ended up as long as... We actually did do unboxing on this one. That's quite good. That's the first unboxing we've managed to do so far.
Yeah, of the year.
Yeah, of the year. Thank you very much.
Get a plaque.
And you get a sticker. Oh no, I've got a spare transfer. I'll stick it to you. Right, thank you. Goodbye.
See ya.